What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Freakeasy Gaming. Welcome back to another Fallout 4 review video. In today's Fallout 4 review video, we are going to be reviewing the Fallout 4 DLC Wasteland Workshop.
Some Ethan Bradbury?
Now, recently I've been seeing a lot of hate and negativity directed towards Wasteland Workshop. A lot of people have been saying that this DLC is the worst DLC ever. A lot of people have said that this DLC sucks. A lot of people have said that this DLC is absolutely horrible. A lot of people said that this DLC was only made and produced by Bethesda to make money. However, I agree with some of that stuff to a certain extent. Now, let's start off with the review with the things I didn't like about this DLC. Now, the things I didn't like about this DLC was that this DLC was more focused on arena building. And what I mean by arena building is that this DLC gave you the ability to build cages to capture creatures and make them fight against each other. To as where I really wanted this DLC to add stuff to the furniture, which it didn't. This DLC did not add any new furniture, it didn't add new desks, it didn't add new beds, it didn't add new containers, it didn't add a lot of things, which disappointed me very much. However, the stuff they did add was very awesome. Now, if you are very big into the settlement building, this DLC is totally worth it. If you are not big into the settlement building, odds are this DLC is not worth it. Now, with this DLC, you have to be very creative because the stuff that it adds really requires, I guess you could say, a mind for creativity. And if you are not a very creative person, I really don't think this DLC is a DLC for you, so I would just save your $5 and spend it somewhere else. However, if you are really creative, if you love Fallout 4 and you love settlement building, this DLC is for you. Now, a lot of the stuff I liked about this DLC came from the concrete structures. Now, if you don't know, in this DLC, you could build concrete structures just like you could build wood structures. You could build your own home out of concrete, and the concrete looks clean and beautiful, and it really doesn't have holes or anything like that. It's not really that rusted. It doesn't look nasty. It looks really clean, and it looks really nice. And it also added new lighting. Now, the lighting is really awesome, especially that there's all types of lighting now. Like more lights to put on the walls, and you can now build a cycling light which allows you to change the color of lights. Like you can change from blue to green, pink, yellow. You could basically change it every color of the rainbow, which I think is really awesome. And after building these concrete structures, after making my home the way I wanted it to, after messing around with the lights and all the stuff that this DLC added, I clocked in about 6 total hours playtime on this DLC alone. Now, most of that came from scavenging stuff in the Wasteland to actually be able to build all the stuff at my settlements. However, that is still time I spent trying to complete the DLC, so I do count that as 6 hours that this DLC took me to do. Basically, within 6 hours, all I did was build my own self a home. I really didn't build like at other settlements. I only built my own home in the sky, sort of flying in the sky, like actual floating home in the sky. I put some lights on it. I messed around a little bit with my furniture and stuff like that. They didn't add new furniture, but I messed around in placing stuff around, and it took me about 6 hours. And 6 hours worth of entertainment is totally worth $5, because you figure if the DLC Automatron only lasted people about an hour to an hour and a half, or 2 hours. Some people are saying 3 hours if you discover everything, but still, that is really only half the amount of time that you put into Wasteland Workshop if you're building yourself a home. So if Automatron costed $10 and it only lasts you 1 to 3 hours, and then Wasteland Workshop costs you $5 and lasts you about 6 hours of settlement building, then definitely the settlement building is totally worth the $5. And I think the settlement building in this game is absolutely incredible as it is. Could they add more? Yeah, I would like the ability to actually build pre-war structures and more structures, stuff like that, and more furniture. I think this DLC could have added a lot more of that stuff, but it didn't. It was more focused on arena building. But for $5, I mean, I don't know what people were expecting. I'm not sure if people expected perfection or stuff like that. But this DLC for $5 is definitely worth it. It definitely lasts a while, and since it is settlement building, and it does take a long time to do the stuff in settlement building, because you gotta gather the materials, travel back and stuff like that, and that's just really awesome. Anyways, guys, my final review. Is this DLC worth $5? If you are into the settlement building and you love Fallout 4 and you like settlement building, if you are someone who just doesn't have a home to put stuff in, if you actually put work into your own home and you try to make your house look as nice as possible and as beautiful as possible, then yeah, this DLC is for you. However, if you are someone who plays Fallout 4 occasionally, if you are someone who really isn't that big into the settlement building, this DLC is not for you and you shouldn't buy it. However, if you are a settlement lover, this DLC is definitely for you and it's definitely worth the $5. Anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to drop that like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, been your boy Freaky Gaming. I love each and every single one of you. I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow. And remember, stay freaky.